So in last class, we were looking at harmonically excited single degree of freedom system, and we did acknowledge that it is really complicated to handle damping in this case. So we will first begin with undamped system. So therefore, C is 0, K is non-zero, and the equation that we are going to solve for undamped case is mu double dot plus Ku is equal to F0 cos lambda t. Are you with me? And in that we did find out particular integral correctly. वो procedure सही था, but there is a correction in complementary function. So we will work from first principles. Let us find out what is the complementary function. So complementary function कैसे find out करते हैं? We equate the right hand side to 0. Instead of saying f0 cos lambda t, the right hand side will be equated to 0, and we get the complementary function. So we have to solve this equation. So how do we solve this equation? So I propose u is equal to e raised to st. Are you with me? Let us substitute that. So u dot is equal to s e raised to st, and u double dot is equal to s square e raised to st. Substitute that here, you get m s square e raised to st plus k into e raised to st equal to 0. Standard procedure, we take e raised to st common. So therefore ms square plus k into e raised to st must be equal to 0. So there is no way e raised to st can be 0. We know that. So therefore ms square plus k must be equal to 0. So we get s as minus k by m square root of that, and we got two roots. This is plus or minus. So we know that this root k by m is omega, and square root of minus 1 is I. So therefore we say that s1 or 2 is equal to plus or minus I omega. Are you with me? So once s is equal to plus or minus I omega, what is the solution that we have? So therefore complementary function then becomes u of t is equal to a e raised to I omega t. Substitute s is equal to I omega here. So it is e raised to I omega t plus b, another constant, e raised to minus I omega t. Happy? ये हमने किया है. I am just repeating it so that we have a grasp over it, and we did make a mistake here, so that should not happen. इसलिए फिर से एक बार करते हैं correction. This is a correction. Complementary function is this. Now let me write this complementary function in longhand. What is e raised to I theta? It is cos theta plus I sin theta. So therefore it is going to be a into bracket cos of omega t plus I sin omega t. Agreed? ये सब हमने पहले किया है. I'm just repeating. Plus b into what is e raised to minus I theta? It is cos omega t minus I sin omega t. So I will write it as cos omega t minus I sin omega t. Now, can I collect terms in sin omega t and cos omega t together? Yes. So, u of t, or this complementary function, is a plus b cos omega t, and then plus a minus b times I sin omega t. And we know that the response has to be real. So, therefore, a plus b and a minus b into I, these two need to be real. So for response to be real, this has to be real, and this also has to be real. So A and B must be complex conjugates. ये हमने discuss किया है. And we call this as C1. We call this as C2. Happy? So what is the complementary function? C1 cos omega t plus C2 cos omega t. यहाँ पे ये गलती की हमने, डायरेक्ट a cos omega t दिया because we applied boundary conditions. उसके बाद वो a cos omega t आता है. But when it is forced vibration, you have to apply boundary conditions to entire response. CF plus PI को boundary conditions लगाने, ना कि सिर्फ CF. Are you with me? So therefore, I cannot write this as a cos omega t. This needs to be replaced. It needs to be replaced by what? This C1 cos omega t plus C2 sin omega t. Are you with me? So I am going to replace this u of t by C1 cos omega t. Correction. This is the correction plus C2 sin omega t. And mind you, here omega d will not come because we know omega d is equal to omega here because damping is 0. There is no damped natural frequency as such. So this is the response of the system to which function, to p cos f0 cos lambda t. इस function का response इस तरीके से आता है. C1 is equal to u of t is equal to cf plus pi. वो हमने किया. How do you get these two constants? These two constants are obtained by respecting the boundary condition. So let us do that now. So what is the first boundary condition? U of 0 is 0 because I am saying that this is a system which starts from mean position and rest. तो इसका मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of this? U of 0 is 0 and U dot of 0 is also 0. The system starts from rest and it starts from its mean position and it is driven by harmonic excitation. So अगर दोनों 0 है तो system respond किसको करेगी? It is going to respond to this harmonic excitation. Are you with me? So therefore we know that U of 0 is 0. If that is the case, I substitute t equal to 0 in this equation. So I get 0 equal to cos omega t is going to be 1 because t is 0. So therefore this is going to be equal to C1 plus this term is going to vanish. Do you agree with me? C2 sin omega t is going to vanish. What happens to cos lambda t? T is 0. So cos lambda t becomes 1. So therefore we have C1 equal to F0 upon omega square minus lambda square into m. What is omega? Natural frequency of the system. What is lambda? Lambda is the forcing frequency. This system has been harmonically driven by a force which has frequency lambda. Are you with me? So lambda is external frequency of external load. Omega is its natural frequency. Inherent properties के वजह से जो natural frequency है, that is omega. Are we on same page? Chalo. So let us go ahead. So what is the value of C1 now? Tell me. C1 is therefore minus F0 upon omega square minus lambda square times m. Happy? Now, how do you get C2? U dot of 0 needs to be 0 because the system starts from rest. But what is U dot of t? Can we find out U dot of t? C1 minus C1 omega sin omega t is the first term, minus C1 omega sin omega t. Happy? What is the second term? C2 omega cos omega t. So plus C2 omega cos omega t. So many a times we have wondered, ये trigonometric functions हमने क्यों सीखे? Where are they manifested? They are manifested as the response of harmonically driven single degree of freedom system, or they are manifested as a response of free vibration response of a single degree of freedom system. उसमें वो manifest होते हैं, those functions. So let us try to find out derivative of third term. क्या है third term का derivative? It is going to be minus lambda cos lambda t f0 upon sin lambda t f0 upon omega square minus lambda square, so on and so forth. So I will write down that. What is that? Minus lambda f0 as it is sin lambda t, happy, divided by bolo omega square minus lambda square times m. Now I don't want to see this negative sign here. So if I have to make it positive, I have to make the denominator negative. So denominator negative means in denominator I will write lambda square minus omega square instead of writing omega square minus lambda. So I will simply write this as plus, but at the same time I will write this as lambda square minus omega square. Are you with me? What is the value of u dot of 0 now? U dot of 0 is 0 and it is equal to sin omega t. This term is going to vanish. What about the second term? It is C2 omega. C2 omega. What happens to the third term? Vanishes. Are we doing it correctly? Yes, this term is going to vanish. This term is going to remain. Yes. So C2 omega is 0. Omega cannot be 0. So what do we have? We have C2 equal to 0. Are you with me? Now, so let us substitute these values of C1 and C2 in the solution U of t. So what is U of t? Then U of t is equal to C1. What is the value of C1? This one. Here also I want to have this term as positive. So what should I do? F0, and in denominator I will write it as lambda square minus omega square. So it is F0 m upon lambda square minus omega square into, no, what did we do? M sits here. Okay, this is C1 multiplied by cos lambda t. Cos lambda t भी है ना वहाँ पे. U of t is equal to C1. What is C1? C1 की value, no, cos omega t. I'm sorry. Cos omega t plus C2 sin omega t. What is the value of C2? 0. So this term is going to vanish, and we are going to have F0 upon omega square. Now again, to maintain the denominator same, what I can do is I can write this as lambda square minus omega square. Then I will have to introduce a negative sign. So can I write minus F0? क्या है बोलो? Cos lambda t divided by same denominator. So it is lambda square minus omega square into m. Am I right? Okay, this is the response of the system. Now, can I take F0 common from the numerator? Yes. What do you get then? So U of t then becomes F0 common into bracket cos omega t minus cos lambda t. Happy? And what is there in the denominator? In denominator it is lambda square minus omega square times m. And now what experiment are we trying to do? We are trying to take the forcing frequency close to its natural frequency. With me, and then we know that it is called as resonance. But why we should define anything separately or respond separately for a case where omega approaches to lambda or lambda approaches to omega will be clear from this response. See, for all other values of relative values of omega and lambda, where omega is not equal to lambda, this response is finite at all instances of time. Do you agree with me? Because omega doesn't approach lambda, numerator is also some number, denominator is also some number. Division of two real numbers is going to give you a real response. So therefore, at all instances of time, this is fine. Now, what happens when I am now interested in limit of this response U of t as forcing frequency approaches natural frequency of the system. Now tell me what happens to the denominator. When lambda approaches omega, it will be cos omega t minus cos omega t. So numerator में 0 आएगा. What happens to denominator? Lambda approaches omega. So at that time denominator is also 0. So 0 by 0 is not definite form. Do you agree with me? So when you have not definite form like 0 by 0, how do you find out the limit? Limit as lambda tends to omega gives me this as not definite form 0 by 0. We don't understand what exactly is 0 by 0. Both numerators and denominators are tending to 0, but they may tend to 0 at different rates, and therefore this limit may have in fact a real value. So इसलिए हम क्या करते हैं? We apply something called as L'Hopital's rule. So वो हम करने वाले हैं. So for this I need to take limit as lambda tends to omega of this quantity f0 cos omega t minus cos lambda t divided by lambda square minus omega square into m, and we apply something called as L'Hopital's. Are you with me? And what is L'Hopital's rule? So if you have a quantity which gives you 0 by 0 form in a particular limit, then you must differentiate numerator and denominator by what? By that quantity which is tending to omega. So we are going to take differentiation of numerator with reference to lambda, not with reference to time. Now we are going to take differentiation of numerator with reference to lambda and differentiation of denominator with reference to lambda. And if we take ratio of that and if we take limit of that quantity when lambda tends to omega, it gives you the same answer as this limit. Is L'Hopital's rule. Are you with me? So let us apply that. So what I am going to do, this is equal to limit as lambda tends to omega d by d lambda of cos omega t minus cos lambda t. Are you with me? Divided by d by d lambda. Mind you, this differentiation is not with reference to time because limit is not with reference to time. Limit t is not tending to 0. Omega is lambda is tending to omega. So lambda minus omega is tending to 0. Are you with me? So therefore we have to take differentiation with reference to lambda. So d by d lambda of lambda square minus omega square times m. So can you now tell me what is the limit, what is the differentiation of numerator? Numerator का differentiation क्या है? Cos omega t का differentiation 0 होगा because that quantity doesn't involve lambda. So as far as lambda is concerned, cos omega t is constant. Cos omega t is constant. So therefore, this term 0. And what is the differentiation of cos lambda t? T sin lambda t, but negative. Minus t sin lambda t, that minus sign and this minus sign will become positive. So what is the differentiation of numerator? T sin lambda t. Are you with me? Divided by. Chalo, what is the differentiation of denominator? 2m lambda. Very good. So now in this lambda tends to omega. So wherever I see lambda, I am going to replace it by omega. So what? And now this is not 0 by 0 form. You can see it is t sin omega t divided by 2m omega. Are you with me? So I will write that t sin. क्या हुआ? f0 रहेगा. Okay. So we have f0 here. So this is f0 t sin omega t divided by 2m lambda, 2m omega. Are you with me? So what is the response of the system when resonance occurs? So this is the response of the system in the phenomena of resonance. What is resonance? Forced frequency becomes equal to natural frequency. Resonance. So now what we are going to do is we are going to plot this function. And we are going to look at how does it vary. So now you see in numerator it is t to the power 1. So what is the graph of t to the power 1? If I plot it, it is going to be something like this. Do you agree with me? And on that you have a multiplication of sin omega t function. So instead of decaying, जैसे हमने किया था, e raised to minus eta omega t was a decaying function multiplied by cos omega t. It was oscillating function but with decaying nature. Here t is increasing, linear increasing function on which you have sin omega t sitting there. So ये function, ये response कैसा expected है हमें? It is going to be something like this. Are you with me? And this function as t tends to infinity becomes infinite. So this u of t after some time becomes very large. We are going to plot it and then you will understand the significance of it. But let us try to look at the response. Let us try to understand it first. So ये हमने किया. Now let us take the same example and plot it. So what was the example that we were solving? Mass is equal to 100 kg. Are you with me? Then next, K is equal to 10,000 Newton per meter. That gives me value of omega as 10 radian per second. Do you agree with me? Radian per second. And now this has been given by a harmonically excited force where I say F0 is 100 Newton. I take an example where F0 is 100 Newton. Happy? Or let us take it as 1000 Newton. And lambda tends to omega is the first case where we have resonance. So therefore, lambda is equal to 10 radian per second. With me. So the frequency now. Just give me a second. So now we are going to plot resonance. So it is undamped resonance. So therefore I will make the columns T. Then you are going to have U of T. U of T. But this is when eta is equal to 0. Undamped case. So standard procedure 0, then 0.01. We will plot the response up to 7 or 8 seconds. Fine. Yes. Can you tell me the response? At resonance. F0 into T. So what is F0? 1000 into T into sine omega T. So into sine of 10 into T sine omega T. Then divided by 2 into M is 100 into omega is 10. No discussions within yourself. So let us plot it. So just look at the way it looks. This is the response of the system. Now, as I again, so as time goes on increasing, this amplitude goes on increasing forever. Do you agree with me? In the limit as time t tends to infinity, this amplitude of vibration goes to infinity. Isn't this phenomena unusual to you? Jaise, when we plugged the single degree of freedom system without damping and we left it, it kept on vibrating for eternity. Why? Because we did not model energy loss. Similarly, when resonance occurs, single degree of freedom system response becomes unbounded at very last time. and that is because of energy loss not being modeled. Are you with me? So this resonance phenomena is equally lethal even for a damped system, but the response will not be like this. It won't be unbounded response. Are you with me? So we are going to also solve the problem where the system is under damped and the frequency, forcing frequency approaches the natural frequency. Before we do that, we have to look at few characteristics of this undamped system when subjected to resonance. Are you with me? Chalo, imagine that on y-axis I am plotting a displacement. This you don't have to imagine, that's what we are doing. And on x-axis we are plotting time. Are you with me? As the displacement of the single degree of freedom system goes on increasing, what can you say about the spring force? As the displacement goes on increasing, spring force also increases. What is spring here? So this equivalent single degree of freedom system is representation of single base single story model, let us say. So then spring force corresponds to the force in column. Do you agree with me? Or stress in column. So as u of t goes on increasing, stress in column also goes on increasing. तो अब जरा यहाँ पे देखो, we are not dealing with a infinitely rigid material. We are dealing with elastic and materials which are susceptible to failure after certain stress has been reached. So imagine as u goes on increasing here, there have at some time, let us say equal to 9 seconds, corresponding to this deformation, stresses in the column exceed the limit of the material strength. So क्या होने वाला है? The structure is going to break. Are you with me? So theoretically the response goes to infinite, but even before that, the structure would have broken into pieces when the resonance occurs, because the strength, the stress would have reached its strength. Are you with me? Now, at time t equal to 0, the response suddenly doesn't become infinite, or it doesn't become very large at time t equal to 0. You need to have that resonance occurring for some time. For some time at least, the forcing frequency must be equal to natural frequency. Let us say up to 4 seconds. Then only the response shoots up, or it shoots to the level where the structure is susceptible to fall. Are you with me? So we understand from this graph is if the resonance occurs for a very small duration of the time, and within that time, if the response does not shoot up in such a fashion that the stresses exceed the strength, the structure is going to sustain the resonance phenomenon. Are you with me? But only if lambda, that is forcing frequency, becomes equal to natural frequency and that excitation is sustained for a while, then there is a likely possibility that structure is going to fail, provided it doesn't have damping. Damping के बारे में अब बात करेंगे. Are you with me? Now, so we have taken a very specific case where the response is plotted when lambda is approaching omega. What if lambda is not approaching omega? So we are now going to consider two cases where lambda is less than omega, sufficiently less than omega. Then lambda is sufficiently close to omega but is not equal to omega. And then when lambda is slightly greater than omega, and when lambda is very much greater than omega, what happens to the response? ये सारी चीजें हम plot करते हैं. Are you with me? So let us take the first case. First case we have plotted for resonance. Let me plot u of t for this resonance. For this u of t, lambda, or I will represent it by h here. H is equal to 10 equal to omega. What is it? Is there any question? So there are certain ground rules for this class. Discussions within the students are not permitted. Unless if you are doubt, you can ask me. Chalo. So lambda is equal to 10 is equal to omega is the first case for which we have plotted the response. Now let us plot the response for the second case where lambda is very close to omega. Are you with me? Or lambda, let us plot it for lambda being very small than omega. So instead of 10, let us say lambda is 6. Are you with me? So it is less than omega. This is the case that we are plotting the response. So which equation should I consider in this case? This one. I don't have to take limit now because lambda is not approaching omega. We have lambda is equal to 7. So we are going to consider this expression. And what is the value of C1 and C2? This is the expression that we are going to use now, where we have not taken limit that lambda tends to omega. So can you tell me what is F0 is equal to? How much is F0? 1000 multiplied by, tell me, cos of omega t minus cos of lambda t. So देखो cos of omega t 10 into t minus cos of lambda t. What is lambda? Lambda here is 6 into t. This divided by lambda square minus omega square. So what is lambda? 7, 6 square minus 10 square. 10 square and then divided by m as well. So this divided by m. M is 100 kg. This bracket is not required. 1000 into cos of, is there something missing? U of t is F0 cos lambda t. No, U of t cannot be 1 at the beginning. What is the issue? Check karo. Have we calculated constants correctly? F0 cos omega t, when t is 0, this becomes 1, this becomes 1. So F0 minus F0, yes. So is either ही कुछ problem. 10,000 into cos omega d t minus cos. Okay. So denominator में this is in bracket. Forgot that bracket. One minute. Right? Bracket. Now it should be the case. So let us have a look at the response. What do you observe? The response doesn't have any specific characteristic. Do you agree with me? Now what we are going to do is, now we are going to stretch this response for higher times. So let me plot this not only for 8 seconds, or let me do the other way around. Instead of changing this, what I will do is I will change the interval. So instead of 0.01, let us take it as 0.03. So now the response is plotted up to 25 seconds. Are you with me? Chalo. F0 cos lambda t. Let me plot the response up to still higher value, so 0.05. What do you observe in this response? Once again, let us plot it for lesser time. Bolo. So there are two frequencies which are sitting over one another. One is cos omega t and another is cos lambda t. This signal is going to have its own frequency, but then the repeating part of the signal will not be exactly a cost wave. It is some erratic function that repeats itself. Are you with me? That is the first observation. Now, to make this more clear, what we are going to do is we are going to calculate this response for the value of lambda, which is very much greater than omega. Are you with me? So let us plot the response for that case where this is equal to 15. Are you with me? Chalo. So let us do that. I am going to borrow this equation. What is the change that we are going to have in this equation? Instead of this 6, I am going to have 15. That's all. And now I am going to copy this graph. Copy. Paste. And I'm going to change select data. Instead of C, we have to now plot D. Instead of C, we have to plot D. So what do you observe? Similar behavior is observed. Now let us take this lambda very close to omega, but not exactly equal to omega. Are you with me? So let us see what happens. So u of t is equal to, this is greater than, and this is 9.98. So it is very close to omega. So it is slightly less than omega. क्या करने वाले हम? We are going to borrow the same expression. Instead of 15, I'm going to write it as 9.98. 9.98. I believe that you will get a beating phenomena here. What is true? Acha, okay. Control copy, control paste. Here instead of D, I have to remove one series. E. So this response now has become very close to uh, resonance. So we will slightly lower this value here itself. Instead of 9.98 to 9.98, what I will do is I will take it as 9.9. So still same. So I will still reduce this value 9.5. 9.5. This is what is called as beating phenomenon. Are you with me? When uh, when the forcing frequency approaches to very close to natural frequency, but it is sufficiently far, very close but sufficiently far, ironic words, but you have understood what I mean to say now. then it gives you a beating phenomena. System response in a beating phenomena where two functions, two frequencies are acting one over the other in such a fashion that you see the response of this fashion. This occurs very close to resonance when lambda is very close to omega, either from negative side or from positive side. So for example, if I change this frequency, so instead of calling it as 9.95, which we have now, even if I take it as 10.5, so it is very close to omega but on from the higher side, then also you are going to observe the similar phenomenon. So let us look at that. Yes. So still, so whenever the natural frequency is sufficiently close, whenever the forcing frequency is sufficiently close to natural frequency, but it is not exactly equal to natural frequency, in that case we are going to have beating phenomena where response is bounded. But as it becomes very close to omega, or when the forcing frequency becomes exactly equal to omega, you have to observe that you will observe that the response becomes unbounded. It goes on increasing. Are you with me? Naturally, this response, which goes on increasing at resonance, is not going to happen in any of these structures. Why? Because these structures have energy dissipation mechanisms inbuilt in them. उनमें energy dissipation कुछ ना कुछ रहता है. So this understanding of resonance phenomena is theoretical. Now let us look at the damped system. So what we are going to do now is, in next whatever time we have now, we will solve the equation for undamped single degree of freedom system when forcing frequency approaches natural frequency, and then the plotting and everything interpretations will be done tomorrow, and tomorrow, no, in the next class. In the next class we are also going to discuss something called as dynamic magnification factor, and that dynamic magnification factor along with logarithmic decrement method to experimentally measure the value of damping in the system. ये दो पॉइंट हमने डिस्कस कर लिए, then we are done with the single degree of freedom system. We will also talk, so in next class we are going to deal with miscellaneous topics. अभी तक कैसे चलता था हमारा, we were talking about a topic in link, in वो हम वही टॉपिक लेके जाते थे. In next class, let me tell you, I am going to talk about three things which are distinct. One is plotting of undamped, plotting of underdamped system subjected to resonance. Solution, we are doing it now. Then second one is, I am going to talk about logarithmic decrement method to measure the damping of the system. And third, I am going to talk about something called as Duhamel's integral, a way by which we can use response of a unit impulse to estimate response to any arbitrary loading. Are you with me? तो ये हम next class में तीन चीजें करेंगे, and then we will conclude the discussion of single degree of freedom system, and we will start with multi degree of freedom system. The very next class to next. That's the flow. So now what are we going to do? We are going to solve this equation. Are you with me? So what is the equation? Let me write down that mu double dot plus cu dot plus ku is equal to f0 cos lambda. This is the equation that we are going to solve. So what are we looking at? We are looking at response of underdamped single degree of freedom system to harmonic excitation. This is what we are looking at. Are you with me? Chalo. So let us write down, and then we will talk about, of course, resonance phenomena. So let us mass normalize this equation. What do I get? U dot is equal to U dot plus 2 eta omega U double dot plus 2 eta omega U dot plus omega square U is equal to F0 by M cos lambda t. Happy? This is what we get. Now, what is this? What is the CF for this equation? So we already know CF, complementary function. So I will write that as UC of t. What is UC of t? It is a complementary function. When I equate this left hand side to 0, I get complementary function. Do we have the complementary function or solution for that equation? When I equate this to left hand side to 0, yes. What is that solution? E raised to minus eta omega t into bracket C1 cos omega dt plus C2 sin omega dt. Are you with me? Where omega d is the damped natural frequency, which is equal to what? Omega into square root of 1 minus eta square. So we know all this C2 omega d t. But merely finding out complementary function is not enough. So I have to find out particular integral as well. So what is particular integral? I have to give one solution of this differential equation. Are you with me? इसका मुझे एक solution चाहिए कौन सा भी. So what am I going to do? So now I will propose by inspection. How did I propose that? By inspection, leave it immaterial. Mathematicians will handle that. But u of t is equal to a cos lambda t plus b sin lambda t. This is what I propose. This satisfies the parent differential equation. That's what I am saying. With right hand side being not equal to 0. If this has to satisfy, then I have to find out naturally a and b. If I get a and b, then my particular integral is in place. I will add that to CF and I will get the response of undamped single degree of freedom system to harmonic excitation. So what do I do? माइंड यू ये जो मैं f0 cos lambda t के लिए कर रहा हूँ, the same thing can be done for f0 sin lambda t. Same steps are to be followed. You are encouraged to do so on your own. Are you with me? But I am not going to explicitly do it because even if the function is f0 sin lambda t, I can always express it as cos lambda t by using the identity cos of 90 minus theta equal to sin blah blah. I don't know whatever. So you can use that and convert that. Are you with me? So therefore I am doing it for f0 cos lambda t only. Chalo. So u of t is a cos lambda t plus b sin lambda t. So tell me what is u dot of t? Follow? Minus a lambda sin lambda t plus b lambda cos lambda t. Happy? Okay. What is u dot of double dot of t? Minus a lambda square cos lambda t minus b lambda square sin lambda t. Do you agree with me? Acha. Now, if can I take lambda square minus lambda square constant common? So what remains? A cos lambda t plus b sin lambda. What is a cos lambda t plus b sin lambda t? It is u of t. Do you agree? So what the moment I have taken minus lambda square constant, the term is a cos lambda t plus b sin lambda t. That is nothing but u of t. So u double dot of t is minus lambda square u of t. Happy? Now I am going to substitute these values here in the governing differential equation. What should I write down for u double dot? It is minus lambda square into u of t, which is a cos lambda t plus b sin lambda t. Happy? This multiplied by nothing, u double dot plus 2 eta omega. So I am going to write down each term separately plus 2 eta omega. बोलो क्या लिखूं? U dot of t. U dot of t. So what is u dot of t? Minus a lambda sin lambda t plus b lambda cos lambda. Do you agree with me? चलो प्लस तीसरा टर्म क्या है? ओमेगा स्क्वायर इंटू a cos lambda t plus b sin lambda t. Happy? This must be equal to f0 cos lambda t. pi आप find out करने वाले हैं, so it must be equal to f0 upon m cos lambda t. Are you with me? So I will write that it must be equal to f0 upon m cos lambda t plus 0 sin lambda t. Can I write it this way? Meaning same here, mathematical manipulation. Are you with me? Now, what am I going to do? If these two sides are going to be equal, then coefficients of cos lambda t collected together must be equal to f0 upon m, and coefficients of sin lambda t collected together must be equal to 0. Are you with me? Then only left hand side and right hand side can be equal. So I have now two equations in two unknowns a and b. I will solve for it. So let us do that. So now what matters is patience. So अब क्या करेंगे आप? We are going to now collect terms in cos lambda t on left hand side. So can you tell me what are the terms that are involved in cos lambda t? We will go one by one. Are you with me? So a cos lambda, this is the term in cos lambda t. So therefore a into minus lambda square. So I have considered this term. Are you with me? So I will write it as minus a lambda square. Happy? चलो b sin lambda t है, उसमें cos lambda t का टर्म है ही नहीं. Now here we have b lambda and 2 eta omega sitting outside. So I will take this term together. So that is 2 plus 2 eta omega b lambda. Are you with me? तो ये टर्म हो गया. Now what about this? Cos lambda t का टर्म है, so it is going to be plus a omega square. Happy? So I have considered this term. Fine. Now I am going to now collect terms of sin lambda t. So how do I collect terms in sin lambda t? And then I am going to add this together. So sin lambda t के कौन-कौन से terms है? पहले बोलो. Minus b lambda square. Minus b lambda square. So which term we are taken care of? This term we are taken care of. Minus 2 eta omega a lambda. So minus 2 eta omega a lambda. This term is being taken care of. And now this is b omega square. So plus b omega square. Do you agree with me? This term is being taken care of. Is there any term remaining which doesn't involve either sin lambda t or cos lambda t? ऐसा कोई term है ही नहीं. Are you with me? So there is not a single term which doesn't involve either sin lambda t or cos lambda t. So we have taken care of all the terms. So this must be equal to f0 by m cos lambda t plus 0 sin lambda t. What does that give me? Cos lambda t ka coefficient must be equal to f0 by m. So I will write down now the coefficient of cos lambda t. In writing the coefficient of cos lambda t, can I take a common in these two terms? And what do I get? Omega square minus lambda square. Are you with me? If I take a common. So, देखो, a common into bracket omega square minus lambda square plus 2 eta omega b lambda. Are you with me? This must be equal to f0 by m. तो इसमें unknown कौन से हैं? A and B are unknowns. So I will mark them with different colors. So you will understand that we are solving for them. This A is unknown and this B is unknown. Are you with me? चलो अब आगे चलते. Second equation. What should I do? Again, can I take B common? Yes. So but that B is second term. So I am going to write it here. B common into bracket. बोलो क्या होगा ब्रैकेट में? हाँ, omega square minus lambda square. This must be equal to 0, and then remaining term is a into minus 2 eta omega lambda plus this. Do you agree with me? How do you solve these two equations? Tell me. ये दो equations को हम solve कैसे करेंगे? So I want to I want to eliminate one of the constants here. Shinde sir आले बाहेर की मला सांगा, so that I will stop. So omega square minus lambda square, और यहाँ पे coefficient क्या है? minus 2 eta omega lambda. So what I am going to do is I am going to multiply first equation by minus 2 eta omega lambda. I am going to multiply second equation by omega square minus lambda square. Preliminary mathematics. Patience is required. Now, so what do we get? So we get A into some quantity which I am not going to write down, because anyway that is going to cancel when we subtract two equations. So you have something. I will show that something like this. Are you with me? Okay, so he is there. So we will stop here today and we will take up this in the next class. Mark your attendance on the link.